Welcome back. Participatory governance is what has made the current administration in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, made a mark in turning around the fortunes of the state. This is according to the state governor, Ibikunle Amosun, at the 4th Town Hall meeting on the 2015 budget in Abeokuta, the state capital, where he also promised that the contributions of the members of the public will again be considered in drawing up the budget. Every year since its inception, the Ibikunle Amosun administration gathers citizens of the state from all walks of life, including professionals, artisans, traders, trade union members, students, traditional rulers, community leaders, and pressure groups to make inputs to the preparation of the state's annual budget with the purpose of ensuring equal interest representation in policy making.
Today's town hall consultative meeting, which has been organized at the instance of His Excellency, is consistent with the tradition that we have established. Over the last 3.5 years, we have recorded significant achievements in the mission to rebuild the state as contained in our 5 cardinal programs.
This year again, issues are laid bare, questions are asked, and suggestions made.
Budget for Community Development Council. Secondly, our grant is I just want to remind you, sir, you have promised for assessment of that. Road from Shadam to Shapa to our local government is pleading for your attention, sir. I'm going to pay you for the kind of should pay the budget sir. Then in the area of employment, sir, we are going to understand that there is oil in the state. Technology area and somewhere in the water side. I want you to look into that direction, sir. If you are being upgraded into that oil producing state, I know you will do more for the state. Then the area of deep sea ports, this will provide employment for really between youth in the state. I want you to look into that direction also.
The simple thing that the farmers are demanding this morning, sir, is that with this special interaction between you and the farmers, it is very important and it is germane. And we appreciate it is going to help you because since you became the governor, you have not interacted with the farmers one-on-one and really this. And that is the simple message of the Farmers Council for you, Your Excellency.
We as pensioners and as state executive need to compare notes with other states. And I can assure you, sir, that we will say this in the forefront when we talk of meritocracy for pensioners. Having said that, sir, so this we had the opportunity of having some interactions with Your Excellency as regards the organization of our pension. And Your Excellency told us that this will be done as quickly as possible. And now that we are talking about policy state now, we are here to remind the government that we want our organization budget to appear in budget for next year. Because it is not that we are told that unfortunately it is not budgeted for us. Next year, Number 2, some of our members will have contributing pensions still before the better away from the planet and the old system. And we complaining that what they contributed to the PFA have gone in front with them, while the government contributed and deducted from the approach. I say that the person that their own contribution turns to them. We are appealing to help us in this regard so that we will be able to provide our contribution. Thing is that last year, the Secretariat of State NUP was not. Every Secretary of the Government represented Their promise to help us in building. Up to now, we are still expecting that. As we discuss whether we NS, please look for them.
Governor Amosun again promises to work with the people's recommendations and stresses the need to ensure that the state continues to build its internally generated revenue to meet up with the growing demands of our development plans.
Let me acknowledge and commend the good people of the state for their support, understanding and cooperation that our administration has received and enjoyed ever since we assumed office. We are not oblivious of the fact that the support and cooperation over the past 3.5 years have made it possible for us to attain this height. For all of this, I say a big thank you. As an administration, our utmost and sincere belief is that governance should be a participatory process. The people should have a say on issues that concerns them. It is for this reason that we continue to ensure that our people take their rightful position in governance. The essence is to enable us to jointly define our priorities and collectively articulate our developmental agenda for the 2015 financial year. What we need to do, the only way for us to go, is to think out of the box and look for ways and means of generating the much needed idea. Without it, we cannot sustain ourselves as a state. So I am happy to report that gradually now we are increasing our idea without unnecessarily inconvenience our people.
Governor Amosun also stressed the need to build a system-driven structure in governance that will outlive any administration and called for a continued support of the people of the state in moving the state forward.
And in moving Ogun State forward, the issues of the environment cannot be waved aside, especially because its rebuilding mission and cardinal programs border around agriculture, industrialization and rural development and urban renewal as well, now all of which depend on a habitable environment to be successful. It's against this backdrop that the first Environment Summit in Ogun State was convened.
The topical issue of the environment as a very basis of human existence continues to attract attention both locally and internationally, and this summit in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, brought together stakeholders for cross-fertilization of ideas on the current environmental situation in the state and the need for stakeholders to be more responsible and responsive.
At what prices do we get what we got? Recent development in climatic situation has shown that we are indeed paying more than what we get by degrading our environment and destroying our natural defenses. Therefore, we get our industries, we foster from one place to another, own our beautiful houses, but in turn pay for more medical research to produce drugs and vaccines for diseases that were hitherto unknown to man. We also have to budget and spend more on relief interventions because of more natural disasters such as earthquake, landslides, mudslides, hurricanes, tsunami, among others. We need to ask ourselves how sustainable is development. A sustainable development is based on the assumption that societies need to manage these three types of capital, namely economic, social, and natural.
And as active participant, members of the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria seized the opportunity provided by the summit to express their positions on what government needs to do.
We already hold competitions among our members, and we give awards to companies with sound environmental management practice through the introduction of best kept practice. And man will support initiatives from government that truly project the spirit of partnership. And we hope that OGEPA will have a monitoring team, at least to monitor the operations of their consultants, to ensure that they remove waste from factories as at when due with roadworthy vehicles, and also educate them on the need to cover their waste when they are being conveyed to dump site.
Participants at the two-day event, however, submitted that going green remains the best options to save mankind from the challenges of degrading environment occasioned by industrial pollution.
The place of going green is an important area of the community development of the world. You go green because you are returning nature to its original self that has been made by God. Because everything that God made was made to be good.
It has in cases of
improve the environment, because there is no development without destruction, but you mitigate against it, and that's why this summit is very important, to put measures in place to reduce the impact.
Yes, it's more artificial thing. Green means natural, and it helps, particularly our environment, help us to easily produce even food that we eat, rather than artificial processing and things like this. It's nutritionally balanced, and it's cheaper also. Industry should cultivate the culture of self-compliance. And not only the industry, but also the individual. So, and for me, I want to see even the organizer in the road, the carpenter on the road, the bricklayers. The environment belongs to all of us. It's a common heritage, and we must try to see how we preserve it for the future generation. And the only way to do that is not by putting a stick behind us and say, do this, don't do, put this here. No, it's self-compliance, because you think, my son, my daughter, in future must also benefit from this environment.
Resolutions reached at this summit are expected to form the fulcrum needed by government and business owners to ensure self-compliance in the matters of preserving the environment. And that's where we draw the curtains on the program this week. Thanks for watching.
Do join us again, same time next week for another edition. Bye for now.